Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and my friends. Today we're talking Terry Bogard. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, Terry Bogard has become increasingly important in recent history. The biggest news, I guess, hey, he's going to be Street Fighter's first ever guest character appearing in Street Fighter 6. And he's making a triumphant return home to Fatal Fury, the new game City of the Wolves. There hasn't been a new Fatal Fury game in a quarter of a century, and now Terry's back in the forefront of things, rocking his iconic bomber jacket look, which is also admittedly in Street Fighter 6. So making a big splash in Street Fighter, and his own home game franchise is coming back after a very long time. So things are looking up for Terry, to be sure. But basically, we're going to ask, why did we get here? How did this all happen? Why is this all coming to a head now? How did we achieve complete global Terrification? Well, the thing is, it's always been here. The Terry hype train has never stopped since the 90s. It's just only getting even hotter now, really. Terry has always been one of the most important and influential characters of all of gaming. And that's what we're going to talk about here in this video, his many appearances and his many influences. So at the end of this video, if you don't already understand the hype, you will. And before we even get into that, what's the appeal of Terry? Well, I think the appeal is very much on its face. Terry is just kind of a regular guy. He's just straight up a cool guy from the 90s. In a lot of ways, Terry is the stand-in for the everyman, as close as you can get in a fighter anyways. Ryu is a monk, not exactly very relatable, and always dealing with, the evil stuff. Terry doesn't have to worry about the Satsui no Bogard, right? He's not the chosen one fighting evil gods and fighting for the fate of humanity. And he's certainly got nothing like the nonsense the Mishima family's got going on. He's just kind of a regular guy. Yeah, he has, magical explosions. That's just part of how fighting games work. But his motivations are pretty simple. He wants a bit of revenge on an evil crime boss. That's it. Other than that, he just kind of likes to fight. He likes playing video games. He's an accomplished fisherman, and he's a pretty good basketball player. And he's an adopted father to two sons, Rock Howard and his favored son, Uki the monkey. As far as a fighting game character can be, Terry's just a normal guy. And I think that's a pretty big part of the appeal. Like, say, in the Garou Mark of the Wolves timeline, Fatal Fury, where we have the time skip past the mainline games, Geese Howard is very dead, and he just sort of hangs out, His story's complete, so he just kind of chills. So that all said, some of the basics of Terry, let me take you back to where it all began. And it didn't begin in Fatal Fury, it began in Street Fighter 1987. Now, I know you're probably thinking, wait, what? Right? The original Street Fighter, the one we don't talk about, because Street Fighter might as well have started in Street Fighter 2, because this game was not a good game. I remember playing this in a bowling alley in 1989. I'm like, wow, this game sucks. Luckily, I gave Street Fighter 2 a chance, right? Otherwise, there would be no channel. But the point we're getting to here is the attract screen. And with the attract screen, the title screen, hey, Capcom, guy punches through the wall, and hey, here's Terry. Yes. That is the original version of Terry Bogard. Now, obviously, this is not the Terry Bogard you think about today. This is quite a different look, but this was the beginnings of what would become Terry Bogard. Designed by Takashi Nishiyama, this look was one of the potential characters they might have gone with the game, although they ultimately went with Ryu. Although if there was to be a follow-up to this game, they wanted this specific character to be playable. However, Nishiyama left Capcom and went to SNK. Still like the character, still like the design, it evolved a bit, it changed up a bit, and that character would go on to become Terry Bogard, making his debut in Fatal Fury, the King of Fighters. And yes, for those that don't know, Fatal Fury is the first King of Fighters game. And the rest, as we say, is history. So rocking the jacket still, the hair grew out a bit longer, wearing his iconic cap. And obviously over the years, the design would change up and evolve from this as well. But this is the core Terry Bogard. This is how it all started. And turns out it all sort of just worked, right? Fatal Fury, pretty popular, would go on to spawn many different games. Like we got Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury Special, Fatal Fury 3, Real Bout Fatal Fury, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, and there's Wild Ambition, Mark of the Wolf, there's a bunch of stuff, right? And obviously City of the Wolves coming out early next year. And hey, there's this little thing called the King of Fighters, kind of a foundational series. Went on to inspire other big series like Smash Brothers as well, right? And Terry's been there from day one. And not only day one, he's never missed a game either. Terry Bogard is a force. People want to see Terry, people want to play Terry, and in Terry's own words, it's no fluke, it's why I'm here every year. So just to impress upon you on the SNK front, Terry Bogard's been in a lot of games. Between Fatal Fury, between King of Fighters, and obviously that's left impressions on people. Like say famously his appearance in Super Smash Brothers, right? That was a very big deal, lots of people were freaking out, and Terry very faithfully recreated in Smash as well. But why was he in Smash exactly? It's because Sakurai, the person in charge of Smash, is absolutely crazy for the character and just Fatal Fury and SNK games in general. Because they very much left their mark on him. Like Sakurai made an almost 50-minute long video just gushing about Terry and SNK in general. And through the course of this video, he's just gushing and basically like saying, you know, please like Terry as much as I do. If you don't know here, I'm going to tell you everything about the character. Here's why he was created. Here's his lore. Here's his story. Here's the games he's in. Let me show you why this is a faithful translation of Smash Brothers to what this game is. Fatal Fury and Terry Bogard certainly left its mark on the creator of Smash Brothers. And once again, Smash Brothers was created kind of as an homage to King of Fighters itself. And we're going to cover some more of these inspirations here in a little bit. But yeah, so Terry kind of a big deal, and Terry's so much more than just his Fatal Fury and King of Fighters appearances. He's in so many games. And I'm not just talking to stuff that you would probably expect, like say some of his crossovers in the Capcom versus SNK games. Like those are cool enough, right? But we can get kind of weird with it. Like say SNK Heroines, where we have Fatal Cutie Terry Bogard, where Terry's basically a sexy lady. And I know you can sort of like write off, well, it's one of those games, right? And hey, maybe so, but I got something shocking for you. This game is canonical to the King of Fighters timeline. You may not like it, but that's the hard truth of the matter. That's straight from Otosan, the King of Fighters director himself, by the way. And Sexy Lady Terry is something that's actually persisted throughout the years. It's a strong character design. People like it. Lots of cosplays, lots of arts, all that kind of stuff. And it'll probably pop up in the future again at some point as well. So when I'm talking like oddball Terry Bogard appearances, this is certainly one. How about Sky Stage? Yes, Terry Bogard is flying over a city, shooting all sorts of lasers at incoming, like maybe, I don't even know what these are. But yeah, like, they're willing to put Terry and, you know, a lot of the other SNK characters in a lot of oddball situations, to say the least. Ever wanted to date Terry Bogard? Turns out they also made a game for you. There is the King of Fighters for girls. Yes, this was very much a thing that they did. So yeah, Terry's in a lot of fighting games, but they'll just put him in just about any old damn thing. Including a million phone gacha games, like legitimately Terry and the SNK crew are in just about everything. If the gacha game has been around for a hot minute, there's almost assuredly SNK characters, although this is the one area where Terry has to cede ground to Mai, because Mai is the queen of the gacha game. She's even in the stuff that just can't make sense, like apocalyptic zombie survival. So, good on you, Mai. So Terry is very prolific and always has been. So okay, this is why we have, say, the guest appearance in Street Fighter 6, right? It's why we had the guest appearance in Smash Brothers as well. But Terry's been guesting in a lot of different things. Like Terry and Mai are coming to Street Fighter 6, but they also already hit up Fall Guys. The brand for the characters is pretty strong in that they can appear in a lot of different things. Like say a big one for the core fighting game audience. A year and a half-ish before Terry showed up in Smash Brothers, he showed up in Fighting EX Lair. This is a game made by the developers who originally made Street Fighter EX. And Terry showing up was really out of the blue, and it was a very, very big deal. And also, he was very faithfully recreated in the game. And that was just kind of a big surprise and really, really just fun and interesting. Like, Terry can show up in anything. Like, there's this Chinese-only fighting game, Zhun To Chi Wong, and hopefully I'm saying that even moderately correctly, right? But Terry can be appearing anywhere. You can't get rid of this guy. And more than just his appearances, right? He also has very strong influences. Like, let's take someone like Soul Bad Guy. Soul himself is a titan of the genre. People love Soul Bad Guy. And yo, guess what? Soul Bad Guy is Terry. And I know you're probably thinking, wait, what? What do you mean he's Terry? No, he's Terry. I'm sorry. He's Terry. And while we're at it, I guess we'll expose Axel as well, because Axel's just Billy Kane. So let's rewind time just a little bit. So here we are in the original Guilty Gear The Missing Link. And there's the whole Fatal Fury crew. All of them right there. And you might be wondering, hey, what am I talking about? Well, let's zoom in a little bit. Very pixely to be sure, but if you have a look here, look and say at the far right, there's Terry Bogard himself. Might be simple colors, but still unmistakable. Then as we move left, there's Andy, there's Mai, there's Joe, and on the far left, you actually can see Geese Howard as well. So even at the very start of the franchise, the Fatal Fury influence was very much there. And when it comes to Soul's moveset, things like Gunflame, right? Gunflame is very much Power Wave. Specifically, the distinct flame pillars is exactly the Fatal Fury 1 Power Wave. Same idea, big flame pillars going on. So that's one source of inspiration. Bandit Revolver is clearly crack shoot. The modern version moves a little different, but in the older versions, the arc and everything is very much the same. Just a big old weird flippy kick, right? Things like Fafnir, you could argue, is his take just on Burn Knuckle. Big rushing forward, punch forward. Simple enough concept, really. Bandit Bringer is just super clearly power dunk. Same idea and everything, kind of just going up and then slamming down with the one big punch. And don't get me wrong, ain't none of this a bad thing, right? It's just that Soul has very clear roots in Terry Bogard. And Soul himself would go on to inspire other characters as well, right? With a lot of the unique aspects of his thing that's not Terry-based. So he's passing it forward in his own right. And since I did mention Axel, hyper-British, long-range weapon-based character, heavy on the explosions and fire, and loves their bandanas, well, yeah, that's Billy Kane. And Terry Bogard homages and inspiration in gameplay can both get more direct while getting a lot more weird. If Soul is inspired by Terry Bogard to agree, look at this lady here, Anila. She's our sexy sheep lady. She is Terry Bogard in all ways but physical. And that's kind of weird, right? But, yo, that's Burn Knuckle. I know it's on the back of a cute sheep, but that's absolutely Burn Knuckle. This is absolutely Power Wave. It's even lower profile compared to some of the other projectiles in this game. Terry comes from a lot of games, notably King of Fighters, right? King of Fighters notable for the short hop system. The arcs of jumps is what makes KOF compared to a lot of other games. And she has short hops built into her moveset, right? So that's a system level thing. That's a very unique part of this character in this game, as she can alter her jump heights. And then we get a bit more direct here. Stuff like one of her super moves. This is very much Power Geyser, but with sheep. And of course, we all know the infamous and beloved Buster Wolf, right? Are you okay, Buster Wolf? And a lot of people lovingly call this Buster Wool. So she reaches forward, knocks you back, and then the signature arm pose, where the Buster Wool hits and connects. And also, if we do it a bit closer, we get a nice cinematic. And the sheep just run you over. So that's the thing. In terms of game, she's just pretty much Terry. This actually is in line with the Grand Blue Gacha game, as there's actually quite a few SNK references there. There's another character called Feather that's also an explicit reference to Rock Howard, of all people. So yeah, Terry's left his mark. So yeah, we talked a lot in this video just about so many things Terry. Terry's not just a big deal now, although Frank, he is a very big deal now, right? But he's always been a big deal. You could say he's SNK's mascot, which is some drama in and of itself. As many would argue, at least beforehand anyways, Kyo was the mascot. He's technically the main character of King of Fighters. But come the SVC Chaos poster for the re-release we just had, Terry is the one facing up against Ryu. And considering that in that game, Kyo is considered the mascot and the main character, but he's not on the modern poster, says it all. Kyo has been replaced. It is all hands on Terry. Kyo never heard of him. It's always been about Terry. The Bogardification of fighting games is complete. But yeah, Terry, long history, long legacy. He's in 1.5 billion games. So it's not just that Terry showed up out of nowhere. No, Terry's always been here. But now Terry, he's taken over. He always had a big slice of the mind share, but now he wants the whole damn pie. And you know what? It's working. At this point, you could just put Terry in everything and people will be like, yeah, seems about right. Seems fair. So I guess the purpose of this video is, if you didn't understand why Terry's a big deal, hopefully now you know. If you didn't appreciate, the depth and breadth of his legacy, he's been around for a very long time and he's going to be around for a long time to come. So for the new stuff, hey, check out Terry in Street Fighter 6. Check out Terry in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. But he's got a long legacy and you can check stuff going back for 30 plus years. So, hey, maybe give it a gander. But my friends, that is the video. So if you didn't know about Terry, now you know. And other than that, that is the video. So thank you for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some fighting games with Terry Bogard in it, which is damn near all of them.